The Miami Dolphins pulled out a last-second victory in their season opener against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and if they can keep the momentum they built in that second half, they're going to be a terrifying matchup for anyone.
It made me realize that we got a f***ing good team this year, dog.
How's it going today? My name is Jesse McNamer, and welcome to Point of View. Before we get into it today, I just want to say we always appreciate your feedback and look forward to reading your comments like the one we've got here. Also, be sure to stay tuned to the end of this episode to see if you can guess today's trivia question down below. Today's topic: will the Dolphins be able to build on that unreal second half performance from Sunday? That first half was pretty rough, but what they showed in the final 30 minutes was enough to believe they could be different than years past. And that's not because they pulled out the W. They've done that in each of the past 4 seasons, but that streak did look in jeopardy for a while as the Jags were inches from extending their lead to 17 before Javon Holland came to the rescue. Here, late in the third quarter, running back Travis Etienne scampers 13 yards before Holland flies in to punch out the ball just before the goal line. And that play ended up being absolutely massive as it was the last real chance the Jags had to score. Here's Holland after the game talking about how much that play changed the momentum in the game.
To change the momentum of the game, I'm happy to be the guy that my name was called and I was able to make that play. But it could be any of us. That's the sweet part about being on the team. You just got to wait for your opportunity. Play your alignment, assignment, technique, and then when that thing happened, you just take advantage of it. So I was happy it was me.
He definitely took advantage, and so did the offense. On the very next play, Tua Tagovailoa connected with recently detained Tyreek Hill on an 80-yard strike to get the Fins right back in the game. Now, maybe the defense left something to be desired in the first half, but it turned up the heat in the second under the first-year defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver. In the first half, Jags QB Trevor Lawrence completed 9 of his 14 pass attempts for 125 yards and a touchdown. In the second, he was limited to 3 of 7 for 37 yards as the offense scored a grand total of 0 points. Their defensive effort was rewarded as Tua and the offense got things rolling. Tua's first half consisted of 11 completions on 21 attempts for 131 yards. In the second, he was 12 for 16 with 207 yards and the Tyreek Hill score. It was a much-needed sight to see from their quarterback who gets so much flack and attention for every one of his performances. Here's what the franchise QB had to say about the team's resilience to make that type of comeback.
It's never over until it is. So that was the first 2 quarters. It sort of trickled into the third quarter a little bit, but we regrouped. We found something, and then we found a way to win it, although it didn't look as pretty.
He's definitely right. It didn't look pretty, but a win's a win. Still, there are some huge issues to clean up. For starters, the starting guards Robert Jones and Liam Eichenberg couldn't force their will on anyone. Tua was sacked 3 times while Raheem Mostert and Devon Achane combined for 33 yards on 16 carries. Jeff Wilson saved the stats a little bit with 5 carries for 26 yards later in the game, but it's safe to say that kind of production from your top 2 backs isn't going to be sustainable if they want to compete for the division. And my man, Mike McDaniel, can we please figure out how to get the play in a little faster? I mean, it's year 3, and we're still seeing way too many timeouts wasted because the offense can't get up to the line and on the same page in 40 seconds. Every other competent team in the league can do it. It's time for you to catch up. Anyway, that's a fixable thing even though McDaniel makes it look harder than it should be. He's also got to help the team get off to faster starts, but even so, the final numbers show the Dolphins were the better team over the complete game, not just the second half. They ran 15 more plays, had 137 more yards, 2 more first downs, and converted on 47% of their third downs versus 20% for the Jags. And that's a playoff caliber team, so even though it might have looked bad for a while, the end result is overall positive. And that momentum is going to be need to carry into the Thursday night matchup with the Buffalo Bills. They had a similar Week 1 performance as they got out of the gate slow, but came out with a victory while Josh Allen looked like Josh Allen as always. But my faith is in the Dolphins to come out of that matchup with a win, because I really do think Tua and the Dolphins are ready to play deep into January. For more on that, check out this past episode of Point of View. And the moment you've been waiting for, here's the answer to today's trivia question. We appreciate you tuning in this episode of Point of View, and we'll see you in the next one.